What's going on, guys? It's Nick here, back with another video, running back situations to avoid. In today's video, I'll be talking about some running back situations that I'm completely fading in fantasy. There are a number of different reasons that I'll go over, but ultimately, everything comes down to what you're getting for your draft capital. Any player could break out. They could get extremely lucky with touchdowns. They could get lucky if a few defenders fall down at the right time. Their entire team could get hurt, just giving them a massive opportunity share. Anything could happen. But we need to draft based on what will happen more often than not. Drafting not based off what could happen, but what's likely to happen. So these are the backfields I won't be drafting from because the most likely outcome is that they disappoint. Before we start, let's do the stat of the day. Yesterday's stat was which running back had the highest touch percentage while they were on the field last season. The answer was Sony Michel. Bobby TV was the first to get that one correct. Today's stat, so far this preseason, which running back has the highest PFF grade? All right, let's start the list off with the Denver Broncos. And Denver has that running back trio of Phillip Lindsay, Royce Freeman, and Theo Riddick. Now, Theo Riddick is out for, I'd say, at least the first month of the season. Could be a little bit more than that, but he should be back. And when he returns, he will take a good amount of the third down work away from Lindsay and Freeman. Lindsay's currently being taken in the late 4th to early 5th round, and then Freeman's going in the late 7th to early 8th round. The most likely outcome here is that Lindsay sees fewer carries and targets than he had last season, and that his extremely high touchdown rate comes down, especially since they're not exactly an elite offense. Because of this, it's pretty unlikely that he returns late 4th round value. Freeman is likely to see more carries than he had last year, but especially when Theo comes back, he's just not going to see enough volume through the air to be worth starting on a championship team. Lindsay and Freeman will have value if the other one gets hurt, but they're being drafted like that's going to happen. Like Freeman, his ADP is saying that Lindsay's probably going to get hurt, and at some point in the season, Freeman's the early down back completely. Well, that's not likely to happen. Maybe he'll miss a game or two, but it's not likely that he's going to tear his ACL or his Achilles. Then Lindsay's being drafted as if they're not going to move more towards a 50-50 split. But maybe if it's not 50-50, it's at least close to it. And as soon as Theo comes back, he's going to see a massive reduction in his third down work. So I just can't justify drafting really anyone in this backfield. Washington's next, and this is another three-headed backfield with Darius Geis, Adrian Peterson, and Chris Thompson. Now, Chris Thompson might be appealing to some people, saying he's going really late, he's probably going to outperform that ADP. Honestly, he probably will. Like wherever he's going right now in the later rounds, if you look at the end of the year, he probably will outperform that. But it's a similar story to Royce Freeman. When are you really going to start him? I mean, again, maybe he returns 10th round value, but there's never a situation where you're looking at his, 5 to 7 targets a week, basically 0 carries a week, and you're saying, yup, that's my running back too heading into week 16. No, that's just not going to happen. There's no scenario where you've built a championship team and he's the reason you've done so and he's the reason that you're going to win. It's just not going to happen. Then you have Geis and Peterson. Well, Geis is going in the mid to late 7th round and Peterson's going in the late 9th round. Now, Geis is going to be eased into the season after just getting cleared to play in preseason games, and Peterson only offers value on early downs. Really, neither of these two are going to see the field on any third down situations, and both are going to split time on early downs. Plus, this is an offense that's not going to be very good, and the only way that Geis or Peterson hit value is if the other one gets hurt. And even then, they'll be low-end starters in that offense because they still won't get third down work. Remember what happened last season. Adrian Peterson played a full 16 weeks without Darius Geis, and he was still a low-end 2 to a high-end 3 in points per game. And that's the best-case scenario, and it's still underwhelming. So it's not worth taking these guys when there are still a ton of amazing options left on the board where they're going. Tampa Bay is next, and the Bucs backfield consists of Ronald Jones, Peyton Barber, Dare Ogunbowale, And then sprinklings of Andre Ellington, although Dare's pretty clearly the number 3 in that offense, and I don't really know how much they're going to use Ellington, but if they use him, it won't be much at all. The Bucs are going to move the ball this season. They're not a terrible offense, and they're going to score a decent amount of points. The thing is, that's going to be through the air. They're going to throw the ball a ton. They're going to score a good amount of points through the air, not on the ground. And realistically, no one in this backfield is a discount anymore. You used to be able to get Ronald Jones in the 12th round earlier this summer, which was worth the risk at that ADP. But now he's going in the 9th round, which is a little bit surprising, to be honest, because he obviously did nothing last year. He's done nothing this preseason. He's not going to be involved in the passing game, and now he's dealing with a minor injury with 3 other running backs that are going to take touches away from him. By all accounts, Dare has been the best running back on their roster. But even he's not worth a late round pick because 1, no one's going to draft him, so he'll be there in free agency. And 2, he's got no upside because it's not like Jones and Barber are going away. So even though he'll be used more than people think, he's still not going to be used all that much because Jones and Barber are there and the total volume of the offense for the running backs isn't going to be that high. Then you're like, okay, well, can we at least draft Peyton Barber? No. I mean, he's an extremely mediocre running back who just finished as the running back 39 in points per game despite over 250 touches last year. I can promise you that number's coming down. I mean, I have like nothing positive to say about the Bucs ground game because they're not going to be used all that much, and it's going to be split amongst like a bunch of different running backs on a pass-heavy team. So it's just not worth it. Let's move on to Buffalo, and the only area of this backfield you could target is Singletary. If you truly believe in his talent, then you can draft him. But if you've been following ADPs, then you know he's not at a discount anymore. I mean, in early June, I included Singletary in a running back sleepers video because he was going in the mid to late 12th round. And that's, again, like I said with Ronald Jones, take a shot. In the 12th round, you're taking a chance with the running back, and he's probably not going to hit, but he could. I included him there because I thought that he was the most likely of the Bills running backs to lead the team, at least in the backfield, in touches. And while I still think that could happen, he's moved up into the 9th round after catching a few passes this preseason. But make no mistake, this is still a bad offense, a below average offensive line, and he is still going to split work with McCoy and Gore. The one thing that could change that is if they finally cut McCoy. That would at least make Singletary's ADP a little bit more realistic. But the thing is, I thought they should do that last season, but then they took the $9 million cap hit for his 600 rushing yards and 0 touchdowns. So who really knows what they're doing over there? At the end of the day, you can't draft McCoy because he's well past his prime and he's unusable even if one of Singletary and Gore were to get injured. The same's true for Gore, who has no path to third down work, and that only leaves you with Singletary, who's priced as if McCoy has already been cut, but he hasn't yet. And if he were to get cut, his ADP is going to jump a few rounds, and even then he won't be a value. This is still a range where there are plenty of good options, so just stay away from this one. The last backfield is Indianapolis, and you're going to need to hear me out on this one. If Luck were healthy, then I would be, and was, all over Marlon Mack as a pick. He's got 3 down upside. It's a great offense, a great offensive line, and he's not going to cost you a top 2 rounds pick like he was going in the 3rd round. Because of that, I mean, it's pretty unlikely he was running back 1, so he was a really nice running back 2. That's all the good. The problem is it's looking more and more like Luck won't be healthy to start the season, and we really have no idea how much time he's going to miss. And if that's the case, then the Colts won't be nearly as dangerous with Brissett at quarterback, and since he's still going in the 3rd round, there are just other players I'd rather draft than Mack. Again, the upside is huge if Luck were healthy, but right now he's not. And I don't want the lead back on a Brissett-led offense in the 3rd round. When you look at the rest of the backfield, I've made it clear that Hines is not the type of player that we want to be drafting late, given also that his role, even what it was last season, will be reduced, especially with Campbell taking away some of that target share. And then they don't really have a true backup to Marlon Mack, so there isn't even someone I could use as a handcuff. So while this is a good team, and it could be a great team if Luck's healthy, Luck's injury hurts the skill position players, and the backfield hasn't dropped enough in ADP to be worth that risk. So, those are the running back situations I'm currently avoiding the most this season. Obviously, there are still other running backs I wouldn't draft, and if you want to see who those are, then check out our rankings at our website, thefantasyfootballadvice.com. But that's the end of this one. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, how about hitting that like button? If you're new here, how about subscribing to the channel? But thanks for watching.